in absentia. Sir is busy with the meeting. He'll be joining us soon. And all the participants from Vivekanand Global University. My name is Dr. Anamika Upadhyay. I am the faculty for Public-Private Partnership Cell, CCS Niyam Jaipur campus. We are very happy to organize this online training program today on behalf of the Center of Public-Private Partnership. Highlights of our training today is we have got two sessions. The first session of Mr. Akshay Singh Ranawat on Introduction to IPR, that is Intellectual Property Right, followed up by queries. Second session of Attorney General Nayan Rawal sir. The session would be on innovation and IPR. I hope that we are able to do the justice to the online training program today. As of we have thought that IPR is the current issue today which everybody should be knowing, and this time we have initiated by chipping in the management students of Vivekanand Global University. On behalf of CCS Niyam, I extend my thanks to Madam Anadi Singh Trikha, who has helped us a lot in organizing this online training program. She has extended her support for the participation, and I'm very happy that we have the students of management of Vivekanand Global University Jaipur. I hope, students, it is going to be a very important session for all of you, because IPR is one thing which you all would be knowing before entering into any kind of a field further. Moving ahead, I am starting with the session. I'll introduce you today to the first speaker of the session, Mr. Akshay Singh Ranawat. Akshay sir is handling legal executive IP cell in RKVY Raftar, that is Niyam Agribusiness Incubator, Jaipur. By profession, he is basically a law person. His area of expertise is IPR. Akshay Singh Ranawat is an intellectual property law enthusiastic and a postgraduate from National Law University, Jodhpur, in intellectual property right. He has pursued his graduate from 5 Law College, Rajasthan University. He has worked as a legal counsel for corporate and companies. Akshay sir comes with an experience of handling company matters including litigation management, contract management, and compliance management. He has been actively involved in various national and international competitions while pursuing his graduation. While working as a researcher for UNDP, he also got an opportunity to enhance his research skills. With diverse experience and exposure to various platforms in the legal ecosystem, he offers a strong hold in his area of expertise, which is IPR. Moving ahead, I request Akshay sir to kindly take charge of the online training program and to start with the session. Akshay sir, please, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Namika. Thank you for introducing, and giving a very illustrative and exhaustive introduction about my career. And thank you for everybody who is joining. A very good afternoon to Nayan Rawal sir, our next speaker of the day. He's a senior to me in this field, and so I would like to welcome him on my behalf as well. And a very good afternoon to all the participants who have connected with us. Today we'll be dealing with a short introduction as to what IPR is and why it is important for you as a management student to have just a glance or maybe an idea as to what it is and how it can be connected to you, and what role it might play in your being a management student, or maybe in further you become an employee at an organization or a company. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Anamika ma'am, can you just confirm if it's visible?
Visible, audible.
Okay, thank you ma'am, thank you so much. So intellectual property. So first we'll go with the definition. What does intellectual property mean? It's basically a property that arises from the human intellect. It's basically a product of human creation. When I say intellectual property, I mean that any tangible product which has the characteristics of your creation, as in your mental input, your innate quality that you have put into it. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a machine, it can be a design, it can be a cloth, it can be anything. So it varies, and that is how categorically intellectual properties have been defined. So any property which has any tangible property which has been created from your human mind's intellect and human mind's brain, which has your creation, it can be considered as an intellectual property. And the rights you hold over that. For example, if I have created a machine, then I have certain rights over it to use it in a manner, to sell it in a manner, to process it further in a manner, so that in that manner you have certain rights over yourself as the person who is the creator of the intellectual property, and hence these are called as intellectual property rights. So the kinds of intellectual property. So for our for our convenience, we have divided all these human creations, or I would say intellectual creations, into these different categories, which will include your patents, industrial designs, trademark, geographical indications, layout, topographies, integrated circuits, trade secrets, protection of plant patent varieties, and copyright. In this entire session, will be majorly dealing on the few which will, I would say, as per which are day-to-day use, will be patents, trademarks, geographical indication, and copyright. I'll be majorly focusing on that, and we'll be just going through the definition of it. And post that, I think our expert, Dr. Nayan Rawal sir, would like to take it further. So first, I'll just give you a short example or definition, or I would picture of what intellectual properties can be. We see every day there are a lot of intellectual property, but we are unable to identify because we are not aware of them. And now, why is it required for us to know it? Why it is important for us to know what value does it hold? As an intellectual property enthusiast, I would know that what value it would hold, but you as a layman person wouldn't be able to comprehend as to what power it has on the person who is the creator of it. So these are a few examples of it. When we talk about industrial design, I would say if you see a Coca-Cola bottle or this red and transparent bottle everyday use, you see that there's a red cap and there's a embossed Coca-Cola written over it. There's an entire shape to it. There's an there's an embossed design on it, and we see it as, okay, it's a simple bottle for you. But then there are a lot of industrial design applied on it. On one single product, you see so many intellectual property that the red color has a significance. The entire Coca-Cola, the way it is written, it has significance. The shape of the bottle has certain significance. Moving further, patents. Patents are basically given on products and products. For example, aspirin. Now it was, I would say, you had headache or maybe backache or whatever, any medicine that you have, so that mixture of it, how did you get it? So you have a patent over something which has novelty, innovation in it, and industrial application, of course. So we'll be dealing with the definition of patents further, but you see aspirin has the content that the tube, the mixture in it, the medicine has been patented, the entire mixture. Trademarks and service marks. So as I said, taking from this first example, Coca-Cola, the way it is written, the name in itself, it rings a mark on your head. Once you you see a mark that McDonald's written anywhere, even if you are 10 kilometers away from it, there's a McDonald's. Why are you able to identify that product? For identifying that product throughout thousands and millions of products which are available to the quality it would serve. For example, why Maggie is Maggie today? People do that. Go to a shop and just say that bhaiya, I would need a just simply go and say कि भैया a toothpaste देना, या toothpaste की जगह people would say क्या भैया Pepsodent वाला Colgate देना. So do you see the kind of impact the word Colgate has in the minds of people? It has replaced the word toothpaste in itself. So that is why trademarks are important. It leaves a memory, it leaves a goodwill on the product. Why do you eat Maggie so much, not any other noodle? For our parents, I would say my parents, noodles is directly equivalent to Maggie. Even if I'm eating top ramen or any other noodle, it doesn't matter to them. Even if I'm eating YY, they would say, why are you eating Maggie? Because for them, that is the kind of quality, that is the kind of impression, goodwill Maggie has created on their marks, on their minds. So that is why trademarks are important. Coming up next, we have geographical indication. Geographical indication, from the word itself, we can say that any product which you see through which you can identify the geography of it. For example, Bikaneri bhujia, it belongs from Bikaner, but it has a certain kind of quality that it offers. So all those products from which you can identify the geographical place from which they belong is basically geographical indication products. Then you have layout designs of semiconductors, that is IC. So you see there are patterns in which they are made, and there's a act called Semiconductors Integrated Circuit Layout Design Act 2000. So that identifies the entire structure of how the intellectual property is safeguarded via this act. Then you have Plant Patent Variety, that is Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act 2001. That also identifies the new varieties which has been developed over the years and over the time, so which people who have identified them, they can have certain rights, quality rights in their hands. Next up, we have copyrights. Copyrights, if you must have heard the issues of people saying that, my song has been stolen, or maybe the book I have written has been copied by someone, or, so that is why it is given to the artist or the creator of this copyright. It's majorly given to a dramatic artistic person. Will be dealing with the definition of it in the further slides. So, moving further, I'll just tell you simply the significance of intellectual property. When you are, I'm just talking about management students, so I thought that how will you identify with me as in why intellectual property is important. So, for you as a management student, I would say that it has in company value. For example, if you see a lot of companies all across the world, I don't know, this may be your first interaction with intellectual property, experts or IP savvy people, but IP or intangible assets, as we call it, are responsible for around 75% of companies' value in Fortune 500 companies. If you go through the list of all the Fortune 500 or maybe 100 companies, you will identify how protective and how safeguarded they keep their intellectual properties. Be it their trademarks, be it their, trademark as in the name. You identify someone, you identify the quality of product or services with the name that they offer. That is, that is why they have to keep it trademark. Or anything that is worth a copyright, they would keep it copyright protected. Anything which has an app, do you imagine Apple or maybe, Amazon or Google, a company without having any patents? You just cannot imagine, because the kind of research and development, the kind of, mental investment that they make in making that particular intellectual property is what makes them what they are today. The kind of technology Apple offers, nobody else can. But yes, they have a patents of, like, maybe they have hundreds and thousands of patents over everything that they do, every chip that they have, every phone that they have developed, every iPad that they have in their hands. So yes, intellectual property enhances a company's value. So yes, you need to be compliant when you are in a company, when you are managing, when you are a employee or an employer for that matter. You need to be IP savvy. You need to start your building your intellectual property rights profile, as we call it, IP portfolio of a company. Up next, I would say goodwill. A name or a brand conveys all the goodwill of your product and services. We know that, if I go to Adidas or if I go to Nike, I know the kind of quality that they would offer. That simple tick on a shoe or on a t-shirt is just conveys it all. If I'm, even if I'm buying it from anywhere, I know if it has that particular design, if I have the 3 stripes of Adidas, if I have that LV written from Louis Vuitton or maybe any product for that matter, I know if that is the kind of quality that I would get if I purchase a product with that trademark on it. Why do we have that in mind? Yes, it creates a kind of goodwill on the mind of a person. You take it further. If I buy it today, I'll ask my family, my friends, my children to buy it. Because that's the kind of goodwill they have created over the years. As I said about Maggie, there are a lot of products, Pepsodent, Colgate, maybe, shoes for Bata, any kind of shoe, any product, HP, Dell, all these products, Apple. Why do we have that kind of, mental image about these products? Because over the years, those trademarks, those names have created value, goodwill for them. So yes, a trademark holds that goodwill and lead customers to their original product or service. Up next, I would say legal monopoly. A legal monopoly is important, yes, not only from the side of a person who is saying on the legal, a person who is, legally compliant, a person who has got the legal knowledge, but you as a management person, you as an, employer or employee in a company would need, because for example, if you're taking a patent, which is basically a reward to the inventiveness and creativity of the inventor, so of course, when you have put in so much hard work, your mental, investment has been so much into making a particular machine or a product, or for that matter, service, then you have to materialize it by commercially gaining from it. So yes, you have to have a legal monopoly over your product, your intellectual property, to commercially use your creation. So patent gives you that right for about 20 years, and then the same allows for, there are different rights available to you with different intellectual properties. For example, for trademark you have for 10 years, in geographical indication, then copyright. So there is an entire strategy, there's an entire chain by which you can have your rights protected with your intellectual property for different time zones. Avoid free riding. Now I would say free riding, because free riding, as in if someone is using your For example, if I started making, a product with that half-eaten apple on it, and I start selling, and people say, oh, now apple is degraded its quality. What happened? If I start making a noodle and having just a simple, which doesn't taste, everybody knows the Maggi masala has got that particular taste which attracts customer to it. So the worth of it, the taste of it. And if I'm making that without telling Maggi or without, so that is called free riding. You're free riding on the, goodwill of another product or goodwill of another service or goodwill of another trademark. So, competitors usually do that. They free ride on unprotected successful brands, and so that they can attract more customers, and once they are into the market. So that is, if you have seen Burger King versus Burger King. There's a new case which is going on. There's an up and coming chain which is called Burger King, if you guys have known, and there's already established a global chain called Burger King. Now you see that these both two names are very similar, phonetically similar. आपको सुनने में एक जैसा लगेगा. So that is why they, just not to have that free ride, they will ride on their goodwill. So and if they don't, of course they will not. The kind of quality would be different, the products would be different, the taste would be different, the services would be different. So to refrain themselves to have that right over their customers, I have my customers with me, so that my competitor do not misuse that. If I go to a shop and I take that product and it doesn't turn out to be like that, so the mental image, the goodwill that they have created over the years will be ruined for them. So not to scar that, you have to have it, you can file a case against it, you can refrain, you can, if you go to the court, you can ask them not to use that product, not to use your mark, not to use your trademark, not to call themselves Apple or Mango or Banana or whatever your company name is. Advance of mankind. So for example, in patents, usually what we say that, by being an inventor, I would say that, I give back to the public my knowledge. For example, if I've created a medicine of cancer, if I've created a medicine for AIDS, or even, for example, in today, if I create a medicine for COVID-19, then of course, and if I share it and used for further for improvement and advance of mankind, yes, of course, I'll be, it'll be like a reward of my hard work to the entire universe, or maybe to society. So yes, to making an advancement to the mankind. So these are basic significance of intellectual property. To have your company's value worth it, your goodwill, your legal monopoly, and avoid free riding, and of course your contribution towards mankind. So this is a simple example how you identify yourself that this was my idea and then somebody stealing it, and that to refrain yourself from doing this. If you can see that if I'm moving the cursor on it, it says that, here's my new invention. Now there's another person's invention also looks like this, another person's invention also looks like this. To categorize, to bifurcate, to identify which one is yours and which one is mine, you need to have intellectual property. So if everybody would have had rights protected, they wouldn't have been into this entire chaotic confusion. So these are following the laws of India, which basically protects an IP, intellectual property in the country. So as basic as Copyright Act, now 1957, then Patents Act is there, then Design Act is, trademark, geographical indication, semiconductors, protection of plant weight and variety. So these are a few to name. So today we'll be majorly dealing with patents, trademarks, copyright, GI. I'll be giving a short definition and spelling of the definition of all the few. So this is how the entire scenario for role of government. How, if you say that what is government doing in protecting and promotion of the IPRs, then you say this is the hierarchy which I've just simply given as to how do you protect your trademark, how do you protect your patents, how do you protect your geographical indication, or for that matter any intellectual property. So this is a simple hierarchy as to the chain in which the entire protection and chain in which the scenario goes. The Government of India, then you have Ministry of Commerce, under which the Department of Policy and Promotion protects, and they have made offices of Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark, and then there are offices which are Patent Office, Trademark Registry, Geographical Indication Registry, and of course you have Intellectual Property Training. So we'll be dealing with the definition of patent now. What is a patent? So patent, as I said, is basically a monopoly right granted by the government to exclude others from exploiting or using a particular invention. Now, that exclusive monopoly right, the one which I'm talking about, is provided in return for investor disclosing the entire definition and disclosure of how it has been protected. So for patent, the person who has created a machine, the patent who has, got maybe something developed on its own. I'll just give you a basic example. For example, 20 years from now, we used to have a simple chair with four legs and a seat to sit and maybe a backrest. That's all it was. Now, 10 years later, I developed a machine which has got handles on it, so I can put my armrest on it. It can fly. It can, it has a coffee maker. It can, if I navigate on it, it can make me reach any particular definition and destination. So all these, so now that was in technology which was existing, and now the technology which I have, produced is the new one. So it has got novelty, that is the newness. It is now inventive. So the inventiveness of it has been enhanced by the armrest, the navigation machine, the coffee maker machine. It can fly, it has wings, and of course it must have an industrial applicability to have it, to be called as a patent. So yes, if three things are identified in a product or service, then yes, it is patentable. And the term for patent, the time for which you have that protection or your rights on to commercially use it, to commercially exploit a particular invention or your patent, is for 20 years. Post that, it comes to general, it comes to public domain, and it can be made by anybody else, and it is available to the public in general to use it and maybe replicate it further for any particular use. So it's a simple aspect as to what can be patented. It can be a process, it can be a machine, it can be a manufactured article or composition of a matter. So for process for making a chemical compound, that is patentable. A machine, a vending machine, just an example, a television, a smartphone, all these things are patentable. A manufactured article, so it is a bicycle, it can be a car, it can be a plane, it can be a helicopter, it can be a motor vehicle, it can be a train, it can be anything. So any product which is maybe it can be a table. So any manufactured article would be considered a patentable subject matter. Then composition of a matter, every shampoo that you use, every cream that you use, every cleaning solution that you have, all of them have the characteristics of being patentable. So, moving further, same definition of trademark, which is apparently very important, and we usually tend to mix these things up. That I want to trademark my patent. They are both different things. Patent is basically given to as I said, it's a product or process, and it has to have that. Trademark is basically a sign capable of distinguishing the goods or services of one enterprise from another. So, for example, if I, how to identify uh, shoe of Adi or Nike, or maybe a YY noodle or a Maggie noodle. You know how to identify a particular any Burger King or maybe McDonald's. So you know how to identify these products. Why? Because they have a distinguishing, a sign or a logo, or it has to, the particular sign, a particular trademark must have that power in its capacity to distinguish, wherein by which you can distinguish both the product or services from any other services. I know, for example, Akshay and Services provides a particular kind of, if my services are in the line of providing you a tailoring services, and it's been 20 years that I've been doing that. But then I don't have a trademark, and another person who comes with the same name, and he has a trademark with that, he's written it in italics, and he has got a short label to it. He has put it a very distinguishing underline to it, or maybe embroidery or whatever, and it has made its mark. Though I was new in the market, though I was old in the market, though I have been using in the market myself, providing services for a longer duration than another person, but still, if he is intellectual property rights savvy, if he knows how to handle his IP portfolio, he would make more money, or he would be more commercially viable tomorrow. So both the products, if they could have been easily identifiable, I would say that this person is operating from Jaipur, the another services is operating from Delhi. So if this would have been the scenario, we would have been easily able to identify and maybe distinguish both. So different symbols are given to different trademark applications. So, for example, if you see in a product that there's a TM small in the syllable written, then you say because they have the intent to use the application file for the product, that means they have applied for patent, they have applied for trademark registration, and the application is accepted and in process. If you see SM, that means for services, which you usually don't see, but if you pay close attention, you will identify. And once the trademark is registered, it is given as this mark. So a few example is IBM. Everybody knows IBM. Coca-Cola, it's so famous. Yahoo, it's so famous. Windows, when we open, the tune which comes with it, it has a sound mark. It is also a trademark. So you can identify that yes, the Windows product has been opened somewhere, or if you a basic ringtone of Apple, that's also a sound mark. It's also a trademark. So identify that yes, someone's iPhone is ringing. So the kind of goodwill, the kind of image it has, it creates in the mind of the person. So there's a marked image of every product, every service. So that is why trademarks are important. I'll just short example of how people identify. So everybody knows that Esprit, UCB, Gucci, Saint Laurent, Zero, Sisley, all these products, Elizabeth Arden, everybody knows that that a simple logo or a tag is just bifurcates, is just distinguish one product from another. A simple local product can be identified, and if if it's the same, even if it doesn't matter, even if it has got the same cloth, if both the products, both the t-shirts have got the same cloth, but one doesn't have a logo, another has a logo which says Esprit. So of course you'll pay 100 rupees for this and 200 rupees or maybe 400 rupees for this. You wouldn't mind giving that because you'll be expecting a certain kind of quality from it. So that is what trademarks do. They create an impression on the mind of person, and of course to identify your product from somebody else's, that is what it does. So just another example of how a simple product can have a lot of, I would say, have a lot of IPRs into one. If you see this Coca-Cola bottle, its name has got a trademark. The logo type has got a, the way in which Coca-Cola is resembled. For example, if you see the McDonald's, the symbol, this is a slogan. So I'll just tell you, this is a one product, McDonald's, and I'm loving it. So it contains two trademarks by one. So this M written with this particular black background with this yellow color and black color combination, and I am loving it the way it is written just below this mark. This is what this entire trademark is. So it has got two things, one is symbol and one is slogan. So for a trademark, it can be a combination of two things. It can have a symbol and logo. For example, for Coca-Cola, it has got a shape, the name, the color of it, the taste of it. Of course, we go into the depth. Of course, you have that as well. If you see the orange, this is also trademark. You see the shape and the color of it. The color, you identify it by color. If you see the Nike's logo, this a simple tick. That is what it takes for you to identify the product if it is from Nike. So that is what it distinguishes one product from another. As basic as that. Coming to the next, which is copyright. This is also very linear IPR which exists, and everybody tries not very, I would say not people are not very aware of how to be copyright savvy to have an idea of copyright. So basically, Section 14 of the Act provides a right to the person who is the creator of the product, to the creator of a literary, a dramatic, musical, artistic work, and the producers of cinematography, films, and sound recording. You say uh, all the see, for a copyright, ideas cannot be copyrighted. It has to have a tangible execution of it. I'm just saying that I have an idea in my mind to have a movie, a movie wherein a girl meets boy, a boy meets girl, they both fall in love, and now their families are not agreeing to their being together or whatever, and then both of them dies. Now this is a simple story of Romeo Juliet, or maybe Devdas, or whatever. However, how many movies can you count which has got the same storyline, but all of them are different, all of them have got copyright? Why? Because their execution was different. The idea was same for all these 5 to 4 to hundreds of movies. The girl meets boy, the boy meets girl. It's all the same. Over the years, it has been repeated hundreds of times. But then all of them have been identified as different copyrightable products or different copyrightable work. Why it is a copyrightable work? Because it, the execution of the idea was different. It had literary difference, it had dramatic, it has musical difference, and of course artistic difference. So all these works over the years have made its mark. So that is how copyright works. It is given to the creator of the literary, artistic, dramatic, musical work, and especially in the film of the producer gets the right of the copyright. So a simple, picture identification of what all it is and how it is. What is copyright covered by copyright? So literary, films, dramatic, a theater. It is done. Script is written. That's totally fine. Script will have its own copyright, but of course the enactment of it will have its own. So, coming to the next, geographical indication is basically, I would say an indication or a hint or maybe a directional niche or hitch towards goods which you can identify as it can be an agricultural good, it can be a natural good, it can be a manufactured goods. As originating manufacturing in the territory of a country or a region in locality where you say a particular kind of quality, reputation, or maybe certain kind of characters are expected from it, which basically directs to the geographical origin of it. A simple idea of it can be wines. When we call it champagne, why is it called champagne? Because champagne is the name of a place. Why tequila is called tequila? Because it originates from a particular place. Why a Sula wine is from Sula? So because it originates from Nasik. So the particular kind of quality, the air, the atmosphere, as I said, the attributable characteristics of the geography. India offers a lot of wines and spirits which are spread all across the country, but we are not very aware of them. So, Totapuri Aam, why is it so famous? It can be Kolhapuri Chappal, Bikaneri Bhujia, shawls from Himachal Pradesh or from Kashmir. Why Pashmina shawls are so famous from Kashmir? Why? Rasgulla, there was a huge fight between West Bengal and Orissa to get that particular geographical indication. At the end, Orissa got it. How many of you know that basically Rasgulla is originated from Orissa? But over the years, it was like a Bengali dish. No, it is not. It is originated in Orissa. They went to the court and fought the entire thing. So yes, because that place, that particular geographical area identified, started the production of it. They manufactured it. That is where the origin of this product belongs. If you see, how many of you know that Taj Mahal is made from marble which is taken from Makrana? So Makrana marble was used for making Taj Mahal. So now that is why Makrana marble is so famous all across the world, because it has those particular qualities. It can be because of the air in Makrana. It can be because of the soil. It can be the land. It can be the anything. Whatever it is, temperature, season, the area's reaction towards seasons. So the weather quality, anything which adds on to make a particular product geographically identifiable is called as geographical indication. I'll just give you a few examples of Darjeeling tea. So famous, it's all across the world. People buy it from Nagpur oranges. Everybody knows that Nagpur is famous for oranges. Oranges are grown everywhere. I have friends who have oranges in Rajasthan also, but no, it is not. That's because Nagpur offers a particular kind of quality, those particular kind of characteristics which are attributable to that particular geographical region. Coming up next, Kolhapuri Chappal, it can be Tirupati Laddu. That has also made its mark for geographical indication products. Now, for events, if geographical indication is given to a product, it is for 10 years. And of course, it can be renewed further in every year. You have to renew it. So that's all, a short introduction, as time given to me was for 45 minutes. I've closed it now. I would request if there are any questions or queries to all the participants of the webinar. If anything you identify as questionable, you can directly shout out.
Thank you, Akshay sir. It was a wonderful presentation on the introduction of IPR. I'm very sure all our participants have been benefited by this presentation. It was a very crisp, but then still comprehensive on the part of knowledge. And I would like to request the participants from VGU, Vivekanand Global Technical University Management Department, to kindly come ahead with their queries, if any. You can unmute your mic one by one and ask your queries to Akshay sir. Or you can also write the queries in the chat box. We also have Madam Anadi Trikha from Vivekanand Global University. She is an associate professor with management department over there. She is the connecting line between us and VGU today.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm already here. The session was very, very nice. Actually, हम लोग ना यहाँ पे भी इनोवेशन सेल में वी आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग ऑन सम थिंग, तो हम लोग के लिए भी काफी इम्पोर्टेंट था कि हम लोग इस चीज को यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज करके स्टूडेंट को ओवरलुक दें कि भाई कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है आज के टाइम पे व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग फॉर टू स्टार्ट योर ओन थिंग. सो ये सब ट्रेडमार्क, कॉपीराइट्स, ये सब कितना इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं दैट टाइम में.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Participants, you can directly ask your questions, or maybe you can directly drop it in the chat box. Any further, if you want to know about any other trade, any other IPR, also you can ask me directly. I've identified them in the PPT, and if you want to ask them, ask me. My email address I can provide you. You can directly connect to me post this session, and so that I can give my expert advice on anything that I can be of help of.
I think we don't have any more queries, Akshay sir. So won't be taking much time of yours, as I know it's a busy schedule for you at NIAM. Yeah, sir, there is one query in the chat box. Akshay sir, please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Sorry. Yeah. So copyright time limit is given throughout the lifetime of the creator of the work and 60 years after that. So, for example, if I have written a book, the proprietary rights can be given throughout my lifetime and 60 years post that.
Mr. Bhavar Singh, I hope your query is well answered. If we have any more queries, you can write in the chat box. So I don't think that we have any more queries. Participants, if you still have any queries from Akshay sir's presentation, you can definitely mail it to him. His email ID is very much available on the website. So we have one more query. Akshay sir, unmute your mic, please.
So the design, the logo, if you see, that's a trademark. Logo, Nike is the name is a trademark, and the logo, the symbol is also a trademark.
Any more query, participants? Yes, okay. So we have one more. Unmute your mic, Akshay sir.
AG mark, is it referring to the egg mark? If I'm not wrong, Naman. So that is basically, I would say it's a quality certification that is given to a product. If egg mark products, if you are talking about, yes. So basically, egg mark is given to a quality of the product. It's a certification, I would say, more than a trademark or is an IPR. It's a quality certification.
Quite well answered queries, I must say. Participants, if you have any more queries, you can please put them in the chat box in context of Akshay sir's session.
Ma'am, should I drop my email address in the chat box if anybody wants to?
Yes, please, sir. Please, sir. That would be so nice.
Okay,
So
sure.
there is one more query.
Yes. So Ashutosh wants to understand again copyright. So Ashutosh, I would say copyright is given. Copyright is basically a right which is given by under the act, that is Copyright Act 1957, to the creator of the work. A work as in literary. It can be a literary work as in something which is written, जो लिखित में है, जो लिखा हुआ है. It can be anything. It can be a Bible, it can be a story, it can be a monologue, it can be anything. So अगर आपका दिमाग में idea है, that's totally fine. But then if you until and unless you have written it on a piece of paper, it will not be eligible for getting a copyright. So that the creator of the literary work will be considered as copyrightable. Another is dramatic. Anything which is written and then enacted, जिसको आपने प्रस्तुत किया है. It can be a session, it can be a lecture also. People do that my lectures are copyrightable. Because my teaching style is my own. It's different because I've given my voice modulations to it, my enacting, my facial expressions, my hand gestures. So I've given a dramatic representation of a. देखो, copyright आपको कोई भी पढ़ा सकता है. I have taught it. Anybody else would also, and there will be 100 more experts who will teach this. But then the way in which I have presented it to you has got copyrightable aspect to it. Why? Because this is my pattern of representing something which is an idea. So the idea of copyright, the idea of understanding the entire thing has been represented in a certain manner by myself. I am the creator of this work. So that dramatic representation of an idea, that is again copyrightable. म्यूजिकल जिसको कहते हैं हम लोग, पीपल से दैट आई वुड जस्ट टेक अ बेसिक एग्जांपल दैट क्या कहते हैं, प्रीतम दा धुन चुरा लेते हैं, दे से दैट माय सॉन्ग हैज बीन कॉपीराइट और माय ट्यून हैज बीन कॉपीराइट. So it's not basically the lyrics which is copyrightable. It's not the words which has been put, that which has been kabhi kabhi mere dil mein khara hai. It's not like that. These things, the words put together is copyrightable. No, it's basically the music, the notes of it which has been put into a symmetric manner or a sentiment, whatever the linear representation or the way in which these notes have been put together to create that sensory motion of the music tones. Musical notes, they are copyrightable. So the way in which everybody knows that there are sa, re, ga, ma, pa, but then to identify that this particular alignment of these sa, re, ga, ma, pa into one particular tone or a note would stir a particular kind of imagery in the mind of person, that is copyrightable. So then artistic work, and for cinema, as I said earlier, that a movie, a film, any short film, long film, whatever, cinematographic film. So if it has been produced, so the producer is the owner of the copyright. Why? Because it's his, not because it's his money, because he is the one who selects the director, the actor, the music, the songs, the costumes, the everything. To the entire amalgamation of that full, that ensemble, the one which has been ensemble, the work which is compiled by and executed by the producer. That is why any cinematographic film is copyrightable. The creator of it is the producer, and hence the law identify him as the copyright owner, and the copyright is given to the cinematographic film. So, sir, how long does it take to register a trademark? What is the process? So, first thing first, I think whose question was it? Devender, no, sorry, some Monica, Ashutosh. Ashutosh, hopefully your question is answered. If any more query you can ask. Then someone says your voice is breaking. Then what is poor man's patent? It's a kind of patent, Devender, which wherein you can get a certain kind of, I would say, exemption for paying a lot of fees. So I think that is what poor man's patent. I'm not very sure as to your question. Sir, it should be authorized? To which question I don't identify. Ashutosh, if you can be more clearer on this term. Sir, how long does it take to register a trademark? Most probably, I think it takes a year. It just depends on the attorney which is, taking your case. So usually it takes, 6 months, and then post that if there is no, I would say, objection to it, it will not take more than 7 to 8 or maybe maximum 1 year. How long does it take to register, and what is the process behind it, and how much does it cost? Cost involves 4,000 rupees, I guess, for a trademark to register. And if you go to the website of IP India, there are different categories as in where you need to identify your trademark. So then you can go and fill the form, provide the information required, provide your digital signature to it. You can have it, or maybe your CA can do it for you, and then your trademark can be registered. Sir, what happens to trademark when company closes? You can sell your trademarks if your company closes. For example, now I was using a particular trademark which says that, my name is Akshay Singh Rana, but I said ASR Limited. Or maybe ASR, I had I would say I had a sweater, I had a label called ASR. Now my company closed, and over the years, I don't think, but I have the trademark of it on my name, the company's name. And so, but then there is another up and coming company which has got the same syllabus, or maybe which has got the same abbreviation, and they want to buy my trademark. So when you are a company, you should always keep your trademarks, I would say, protected. Even if you are not using it, you can keep them, so first you get the protection for 10 years, and then post that every year you have to renew it. So you keep it renewed so that, you can sell it to someone and maybe make them commercially viable as much as you can. Even if you're not using it, the paying a minimal amount of something for every time renewal won't cost you much, rather than you can selling it to someone who really want to buy that particular name or logo or slogan or symbol. So yes, it is always suggested that you keep your trademarks, especially IPRs, with you and renewed. Okay, where were we? What happened to the copyright? Yes. Ashutosh, I think your question was, should it be authorized? Authorized by whom? As in, I'm not getting your question for copyright.
I think all the queries are quite well answered by Akshay sir. Participants, if you still have any query, you can, sir, again, Ashutosh has responded to you.
Authorized by whom? The copyright registry, Ashutosh. The registry authorizes you. As I showed in the PPT. If you want to, if I want, I can share it again.
Akshay sir, you can also please write your email ID in the chat box. So in case the students have any more queries, they can post the queries to you.
So I've given my email address in the chat box. So if anybody wants to access, they can.
Okay.
How is trademark related to domain names? As in what particular question? I would say Manya. Hello. So basically, domain names are or is not a trademark, that is understood. But they may be registered as trademarks. They are also identifiable. Domain names are also given as they are also identify one goods and services from another. They have the capacity. They have the unique characteristics to it. They are trademark. Like they can be trademarked with domain name. That is how they are connected. If I have answered it well, I'm not sure.
Well, I think even the queries can be taken back after the session of Nayan Raval sir, because sir would be more appropriate in answering some queries which are, still remained. With this, I extend my hearty thanks to Akshay sir for being a part of our online training program today and orienting all the students, all the participants with such a fantastic information upon what is IPR. Akshay sir, thank you so much for joining us. And I would just request you, Akshay sir, to stay in with us for another 10 more minutes because
Sure,
we
ma'am.
have Nayan Raval sir. And after the sessions start with Nayan Raval sir, then sir, if you can, you can join your other work. Just be with us for another 10 more minutes.
Sure, ma'am. Of
Meanwhile,
course, Nayan Rawal sir is here. I'll be there for the entire session, ma'am. No issue.
thank you.
Happy to hear him anytime.
That's actually a compliment to you, Nayan sir, because every time when we hear you, we feel like we hear you more and more. A person who is a non-IPR law person from of my category, even I feel enthusiastic all through your session. So, not taking much of time, may I now introduce you to our second speaker for the day, Mr. Nayan J. Raval. He is basically professional career spans across corporate law, compliance, procedure, and specialization in intellectual property right. He has gained experience in economics aspects of intellectual property rights and endeavor to understand the need and importance of intellectual property asset management. His professional experience is more than of 24 years as of now in the field of corporate law and IPR practice. He is more focused on patents and designs, trademarks and copyrights, and law IP commercialization. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. He has done his bachelor's from Mumbai University, member of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. He is a postgraduate in patent law and practice from Institute of Intellectual Property Rights Studies, Mumbai. He is also a post-graduation in IPR from NLCUI, Bangalore. In the field of IP, he has prosperous more than 800 trademarks applications, has prospected more than 50 patents in the subject of pharmaceuticals and medical electronics, information technology, mechanical, protected more than 50 designs and more than 50 copyrights. He basically works into the category of IP attorney, IP strategy, IP valuation, design thinking in IP. He has completed his various certification course on IPR. It's more than that is DL 101 certificate course in copyright management, that is DL 210E certificate course in biotechnology intellectual property right, that is DL 204E from World Intellectual Organization. He has done a certificate course in ADR from Patil Forum of Dispute Resolution, Pune. With this and much more, I request Nayan Rawal sir to proceed with the session on innovation and IPR. So thank you so much for being on board with us.
Thank you very much, Anamika. I think it's a pleasure to be with you. It's my pleasure to be with you, and all the time you are taking lots of efforts. I think Anamika is really taking huge effort to conduct this type of classes. Now, I have a request to you. Just see if it is possible. I want all the students, if they can unmute their video. I want to see them personally. Because the moment you see young students, you feel more energetic. Is it possible or it is not allowed as per protocol?
No, sir. It is possible. May I just request?
I request all the students to unmute their video. They may not unmute their mic. I know it can disturb, but I want to see them very good. So that's where I want to be interactive with them, because I can speak at least for next 2 days on IPR, but that doesn't make any sense until I know the students personally and what they want to know about IPR. And that is more important for me to understand today, because I am going to be talking little bit different about IPR today. This is my, I think, so a third or a second session with the NIM, but of course, I love students because I am a professor myself in government law college. So what I want you to unmute their videos and let them ask. My first question is, I want to ask them first question is what they want to know about IPR. Why they feel that IPR is important. I think so Madam from Vivekananda Global University did mention about the importance of IPR, and I think so IPR is why we should know why IPR and all that. But let's understand what is students' mindset about IPR, because they come across this word anytime. So can anybody tell me what they feel about and what you know about IPR? Is it possible? Yes, students? If you are feeling shy to speak to me, you can write on the chat box. Not an issue about it. But I am not that bad person. Don't worry about it. I'm very friendly student. So I'm not a bad professor also. Please tell me what you know about IPR and what you are saying you should know about IPR. That is very important, because a journey without a destination is not a proper journey. Then you are going anywhere in this world. Is it possible? So at least 1 or 2 students, I think we have totally 23 participants at present. So at least 2-3 students, if they can tell me or if they can talk to me, I love to talk to them, or if they can at least ask me in a chat box what they feel they should know about IPR. What is their conception about the IPR? That is more important. Please.
Students, the question is extended to you. So I would like to know that what exactly you wish to understand more in IPR, and what is your understanding of IPR. So you can write your replies in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and reply to sir's query.
Yes, that would be much better. Don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. If you feel shy, you will never learn that, and you will regret that you didn't knew about this. And I don't know whether I'll come back again to you. Of course, I love to come back again, because that's what I love students. That is why I am teaching for last 7 years or more than 7 to 8 years in Bombay on IPR subject only. Please come forward and tell me and make my journey a little bit easy for me. I request you personally. What is that in your mind, and what you feel you should know about IPR? I think you are all management students. Yeah? Like a soul to a company. Yes. Why it is a soul to the company? Can you just tell me who is this? Yeah.
So this is Anadi Desai from VGU.
Yeah. I think You are the head of the department, correct? Hello? 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 Hello?
So there's bit of
I
network
guess
connection
whenever
also.
I am
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
something new and I don't want others to, copy it just right away because ये मेरा idea था and I practiced about it so much. I thought about it and I don't want anybody to actually, take it from me. So for just like a body has a soul, I think intellectual property is what is actually, any business soul basically.
Why sold to the company only? It can be a soul to, it can be a professional or say a kind of a personal soul to even a human being. I have lots of examples about how people have prospered. I'm trying to bifurcate IP into three categories: for individuals, for companies, and for universities. I have seen universities are having huge intellectual property. In fact, I am good that you call me for this. In lockdown in Chandigarh, one university has filed 73 patents. In Chandigarh, there is one university which is basically engineering and management both. So together they filed 73 patents in lockdown because they didn't want students to get depressed. So they encouraged them, they gave all the infrastructure to them. Please come and involve yourself in work rather than getting worried about say coronavirus or pandemic. Let's not do that. They forgot everything and they filed 73 patents from say June to September in 4 months, and they started working for this somewhere in April. So that's what the wonder of IPR for even universities. So now at least students should come forward and tell me what they want to know about it. Otherwise, I can start my journey. I have a set presentation. I can speak about it and try to share my experience about my knowledge in IPR. But that is anyway I'm going to do. Let me understand your perception about IPR. That is more important for me. So if you can come forward and tell me, please don't feel shy. आप लोग मैनेजमेंट के स्टूडेंट्स हो, आपको क्यों शर्म आनी चाहिए? आप शर्माओगे तो बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट कैसे करोगे? Yeah, and I think in fact, people from management and finance are more needed in IPR. Legal people will only protect IPR. Who will leverage this IPR for the purpose of business and growth? It's the only management and finance people who can help me to do this. As a lawyer, I can only protect IPR. I cannot leverage IPR. And most important thing is the economic aspect of IPR. That is very important. In fact, recently there was a world summit, something dialogue, a virtual dialogue, IT dialogue between some big American associations and India, and the whole world is looking towards India. We said post-pandemic, it's only India who can help the whole world to come out of this crisis in terms of economics, because they have the capability to think about innovations and they have the capability to think about intellectual property. In fact, I'll tell you, intellectual property is something which is born in India. We give it to the whole world and just come back again to us. Now that's what it is. जब तक हमारे पास मेड इन यूएसए और मेड इन इंग्लैंड नहीं होता, हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते। तो प्लीज अगर आप कुछ बोलेंगे तो मैं अच्छा है, या अदरवाइज आई स्टार्ट माय प्रेजेंटेशन. बट आई वांट यू टू स्पीक एटलीस्ट वन स्टूडेंट. ये तो आपकी टीचर बोली, वो प्रोफेसर बोली बिकॉज ऑफ रेस्पेक्ट टू मी, but I want you to respect me. Why can't you speak? At least if the city says, type on chat box, whatever it is. Don't think it is a crazy question. Every question is a crazy question. Yeah?
IPR need to secure our creation.
Yes, why not? And why should they secure your creation?
क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहता मेरी जो क्रिएशन है वो कोई और कॉपी करे.
कॉपी करने का तो सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता है. वही तो है वो आईपीआर का मतलब, कि प्रोटेक्ट करे. लेकिन आप आईपीआर प्रोटेक्ट करके क्या करोगे आप?
ताकि मेरी क्रिएशन मेरी ही रहे.
आपकी ही रहेगी. आपको एक बार गवर्नमेंट का रिकग्निशन आ गया तो वो आपकी रहेगी. आगे क्या करोगे? और ये क्रिएशन आई कहाँ से? सबसे पहले तो मैं पूछूंगा कि क्रिएशन आई कहाँ से?
थॉट से, सेल्फ थॉट से।
अच्छा, हाँ। दूसरा क्या है, ये क्वेश्चन किसी ने लिखा है, आईपीआर इज द राइट गिवन टू परसन फॉर द क्रिएशन ऑफ द माइंड, इट विल बी यूजुअली गिवन टू द क्रिएटर फॉर एक्टिंग दैट or the use creation for a certain period of time. Yes, that's also true. What you want to know about IPR? ये तो आप जानते हो, आप जो नहीं जानते वो क्या है? Can anybody tell me about that? आप क्या जानना चाहते हो आईपीआर के बारे में? Yes, please. What do you want to know about IPR? Anyway, I think so. You people are too shy about to speak. I will share my presentation. I am going to talk about innovation and IPR. अरे हर्षिल, कहाँ से जाना है हमको? तेरे साइड. Just give me 2 minutes. I think so that presentation is getting loaded. Hmm? So let's understand. First thing is, let's have objectives very clear. What I am trying to teach you today about IPR and innovation. My topic is innovation and IPR. Understand innovation. Why, what, and how about of innovation. Understand the concept of intellectual property. Purpose and objectives of intellectual property. Economic aspects of intellectual property. Types of intellectual property. Procedural framework. And we will see some case studies. We will see exactly what is happening in IPR in the whole world. Yeah, and how they have really leveraged it. Now, this is what the first statement I would like to put before you. And you are going to be management school, you are going to be handling either your business or somebody else's business. This is the first statement I would say, that if you think you will be successful in managing your company in next 10 years, in the same way you managed it in the past 10 years, you are very wrong. To create success, one must challenge the present. Why is IPR coming in? Because the present is getting challenged every day. If you don't challenge, somebody else will challenge it, and you are having it. Like businesses which were there for 10 years back, they are not existing today. Yeah, we are not in the closed mindset of a coal tar economy. We have absolutely gone into a technology or say technology-driven economy. The economy is wild. Absolutely, it is doing so many things. Like in 91, 92, we did not have more than 2 cars. Either we had Fiat or Ambassador. We have n number of cars today. We did not have computers properly. 1995 was a path-breaking year in everybody's life as far as the whole world is concerned. Because in 1995, something like internet came into existence, and that internet has completely changed the game of everybody. Completely changed. You want to know? Yeah, here I want to know what are the considerations I should have when I am planning any new strategy for new market. I'll give you. That is there in my presentation. We'll come to know about it. IP is all about strategy. Manya, IP is all about strategy. You will see the case studies, you will see what I am going to share with you. It's all about strategy only. The term innovation carries with it a much wider concept that goes beyond invention. That is singular idea of new knowledge or of a product or a process, and involves economic conditions, considerations that relates to market segment. Now you cannot have innovation. Earlier पहले क्या होता था, बिजनेसमैन कुछ बनाता था और मार्केट में रख देता था, लोग पसंद करते थे, ले लेते थे. अब बिजनेसमैन के पास चॉइस नहीं है, चॉइस कस्टमर के पास है. कस्टमर जो चाहता है उसको बिजनेसमैन को बनाना पड़ता है. That's the big change. So term innovation is completely related to market success. If you're not successful in market, you will not innovate that thing which is not going to be successful in market. You need to really evaluate the need, problem and desire of the community as a whole, or in country as a whole, or consumer as a whole. And till then you do not have that, your innovation will not have any force. Yeah. And innovation is transformation of an idea into a tradable product or a service, a new manufacturing and distribution process, or any new way of providing services. हमारे जमाने में हमको अगर खाना खाना है तो हमको होटल में जाना पड़ता था. अभी होटल घर पे आती है. यो स्विगी, यो जोमेटो, ये सब नहीं है. हाँ, होटल कैन कम एट होम. And within no time, you can choose also sitting at home what you want. And that is what the innovation is all about. And let me tell you why I am trying to tell you something about innovation. Innovation is the seed for intellectual property. You may have your idea, but if that idea is not put to the practice, it will still remain an idea. It cannot become an intellectual property unless you really transform that idea into a product or a service or a distribution channel or something new or a tradable product. Until you do not do that, you cannot create intellectual property. So innovation is actually a seed for intellectual property. Innovation in broader sense comes from the new combination of all the dimensions of the business system. You have to see what is required by the consumer. You have to see what is required by the economy. You have to see what is required by the need of everybody as a community as a whole. ये सारी कंपनियों के बारे में हम थोड़ा सा बात करेंगे. If you are interested, Amazon, Swiggy, Oreo, Zomato. Do Amazon do anything? मैन्युफैक्चरिंग खुद करता है कुछ? क्या अमेजोन के स्टोर है, खुद के कुछ स्टोर है? क्या अमेजोन का खुद का कोई बिजनेस है? Is he owning any business on his own? No. But then Amazon has become a buzzword. आप ओयो को ले लीजिए. Do Oreo hold actually any hotel? Does it own any hotel? Does it own any hospitality business? No, but it's a big name in hospitality business. क्या स्विगी के पास अपना होटल है? क्या जोमेटो होटल ओन करता है? क्या कोई रेस्टोरेंट ओन करता है? But in food business, these are the main names. So that is what, if you see the earlier slide, it's a business combination. Innovation with business dimensions of complete business system. This is why you need to understand intellectual property. अगर स्विगी वाला और जोमेटो वाला अपना ब्रांड हटा के एग्रीगेटर का काम करेगा तो आप उससे खरीदोगे क्या? You will never buy. ओयो अगर कंसेशन में बिना ब्रांड के आपको रूम देता है, आप विश्वास करोगे क्या? आपको लगेगा कोई फ्रॉड है। या अमेजॉन अपना ब्रांड हटा के बोलते हैं ऑनलाइन बिजनेस कीजिए, बाय एनीथिंग फ्रॉम मी, सेल एनीथिंग थ्रू मी, विल यू गो टू दैट प्लेटफॉर्म? So that is what is the innovation. Now these two, all the four brands which are there, they are not doing anything on their own, but still they are a very big business. आप ओला को ले लीजिए, उबर को ले लीजिए, ओला उबर कोई भी टैक्सी नहीं ओन करता है, एक भी टैक्सी नहीं है खुद की उनकी. What they have done is they have put for people to invest in taxis and do business through them. That's the innovation. That's the innovation. Yeah. Innovation is theoretical conception plus technical innovation plus commercial exploitation. As I told you, that until and unless you take your idea or innovation into product, it doesn't happen. Then that it remains IPR in the book only. We will theoretically learn IPR. That's all. और अपने को पता है ये IPR है. That is why I wanted to understand what you know is how IPR important for event management. Absolutely event management. Indian Idol जैसा दूसरा कोई आया है क्या अभी? या कौन बनेगा करोड़पति दूसरा कोई गेम आया क्या? क्यों नहीं आया? Because that event management has protected that IP rights. What they have protected, we will see that. Yeah. This man has changed my life some 20 years back when I started learning IPR. He was a small, ordinary clerk in the US patent office. But see the kind of change he has made in the whole world. He was not formally graduate, management graduate या scientist या science का कोई PhD का degree भी नहीं था ये आदमी का. So what he says is very important. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge हम सबके पास है. These all 17, 20 participants which are sitting with me today, they also have knowledge, but do have the imagination to put that knowledge into some action? I don't know. And until you do not put that, innovative idea or your imagination to your knowledge, you will not create anything. You will only create degrees. You will not create anything. Either you will get employed somewhere and do something. But if you want to create something, you have to apply imagination to your knowledge. Knowledge सभी के पास है. Knowledge सभी के पास है. Now I'll ask one question to you. आप chat box में मुझे आंसर दीजिएगा. How many of you know Virat Kohli? Say yes or no in chat box. How many of you know Virat Kohli and Priyanka Chopra? चैट बॉक्स में लिखिए yes or no. Y और N लिखने में कितना तकलीफ जाता है आपको? How many of you know विराट कोहली और से प्रियंका चोपड़ा? Everybody knows it. अभी मैं एक और नाम लेता हूं आपके पास. How many of you know चिंतामणि मल्लेशम? चिंताकुंडली मल्लेशम. Sorry, the exact name is चिंताकुंडली मल्लेशम. क्या आप इसको जानते हो? Yes or no लिखो. नहीं मालूम. Do you know that there is something common between all these three people? That is, say प्रियंका चोपड़ा, विराट कोहली और चिंताकुंडली मल्लेशम में एक चीज कॉमन है. क्या आप जानते हो क्या है वो? Say yes or no in chat box. Say yes or no in chat box. क्या आप जानते हो एक चीज क्या कॉमन है उनके अंदर? Nobody knows it. These all three are Padma Shri winners of 2017. तीनों को पद्मश्री मिला है, लेकिन हमको विराट कोहली मालूम है, हमको प्रियंका चोपड़ा मालूम है, चिंताकुंडली मल्लेशम नहीं मालूम है. चिंताकुंडली मल्लेशम ने क्या किया है? उसको भी पद्मश्री मिला गया है. ऐसे ही सरकार ने पद्मश्री दिया क्या उसको? He has innovated manual machine for weaving a साड़ी. He has created, और वो चौथी पास भी नहीं है. वो अनपढ़ गवार आदमी है हैदराबाद का, और बहुत जिल्लतें और बहुत तकलीफें सहन की उसने. He was debarred from his community. He was thrown out of his job in Hyderabad. But उसने अपना जो imagination था ना, I wanted to do something for weaving of साड़ी, और वो क्यों करना चाहता था वो भी बहुत important है. His mother brought him up. He didn't have father, and his mother was a weaving laborer. She was a weaver. Weaving क्या होता है ना, आप नेट पे जाके बाद में कभी देखना. She used to do the weaving of साड़ी and for earning. और एक साड़ी को वीविंग करने के लिए कम से कम उसको 2 दिन लगते थे. बेचारी के हाथ पेन हो जाते थे क्योंकि उम्र चली गई थी. तो चिंताकुंडी मनीषम को लगता था कि मेरी माँ के लिए मुझे कुछ करना चाहिए. तो जब वो खेतों में काम करता था मजदूर की तरह, तो वो एक ही उसका दिमाग में था कि मेरे को मेरी मम्मी के लिए मशीन बनाना है ताकि उसका वीविंग का मेहनत कम हो जाए. एंड बिलीव मी, जिस दिन से सोचा उस दिन 10 साल लगे उसको. लेकिन 10 साल के बाद he was thrown out of community. ये लड़का बेकार है, इसको कुछ नहीं आता है, फेंक दिया उसको बाहर. But he went to Hyderabad and worked as a construction worker. But अपना imagination नहीं छोड़ा उसने. And one day he succeeded in preparing a manual machine. Believe me, कोई टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. Where weaving can be completed in 5 hours, which normally takes 2 days. And he reduces his mother's efforts because he loved his mother. And mother ने blessing दिया होगा उसको. And that is why he is a hero of his community today. He is a hero of Andhra Pradesh. हम उसको याद नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि he is not a celebrity. But thing is that he has done something what Albert Einstein has taught to the whole world. Imagination is more important than knowledge. And this is the trigger point of intellectual property. यहीं से intellectual property का जन्म होता है. Let us see what is intellectual property. It means legal rights resulted from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary and artistic field. It's a cluster of legally recognized rights associated with innovation and creativity. The work of mind as against physical products, land and other tangible resources. It's the first work of mind. चिंताकुंडी मनीषम के दिमाग में आया पहले कि मुझे ऐसा कोई मशीन बनाना है. And that it become a physical product. If you want to know about चिंताकुंडी मनीषम, you should write on Google a person from weaver to engineer, or a person from agriculture to engineer. You'll come to know about everything about चिंताकुंडी मनीषम. पूरे गूगल में उसकी स्टोरी है, मेरे इमेजिनेशन से नहीं बोला ये. Yeah, so it's a work of a mind against the physical product, land and other tangible. When you apply your imagination to your knowledge, you will create a physical product. Yeah. Let's see. The term describes the ideas, inventions, technology, artwork, music, literary work. They are intangible when they are created, but become valuable in tangible form as products or services, I would say. Oyo, Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, ये सब इंटेंजिबल थिंग थी. किसी ने सोचा ये करना है, जब उसको इमेजिनेशन लगाया, he created a product or a service, and that is where an intellectual property is born. Now this is the formal definition of intellectual property which is given by an international authority called World Intellectual Property Organization. It says that intellectual property is divided into 2 parts. One is industrial property and one is copyright and related rights. Industrial property में क्या क्या आता है? आपके पास अगर invention है, you can protect it in the form of patent. If you have something called configuration or pattern, you can protect it as a design. If you have a brand like OU, Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, these are all brands. आपके पास अगर brand है, they can be protected as trademark. Then there are appellations and origins of appellations. That means there are some products which have characteristics of particular region. The characteristics of particular region which they have features only belonging, like Darjeeling tea cannot be cultivated in Rajasthan. Or you can say that Banarsi sari cannot be done the weaving in Coimbatore. Alfonso mango cannot be grown in, say, Kashmir. वो वहीं उगेगा जहां वो मिलता है. So if these unique appellations of origin or characteristics are attached to some product, they are entitled for a protection in the form of a property called geographical indication. Then we have something like trade secret. Can anybody type it? Do they know any very big business trade secret? आपको कोई बड़ा ट्रेड सीक्रेट मालूम है? बिजनेस ट्रेड सीक्रेट. आप मैनेजमेंट स्टूडेंट हो ना, तो बिजनेस सीक्रेट के बारे में कुछ जानते हो? क्या सबसे बड़ा बिजनेस ट्रेड सीक्रेट कौन सा है दुनिया में? बहुत फेमस. जस्ट टेल मी इफ यू नो. आई थिंक आई वांट टू बी मोर इंटरैक्टिव. दो ही आप लोग समझोगे, नहीं तो मैं तो तेरी की तरह बोल के चला जाऊंगा, मजा नहीं आएगा आपको. डू यू नो what is the biggest trade secret, corporate trade secret? Is anybody aware of this? The biggest corporate trade secret is the formula of Coca-Cola. It is not patented. It is kept secret for last 100 years. Then we have something like integrated circuits. Integrated circuits, which are actually a topography, which helps convergence of technology. आपका मोबाइल कंप्यूटर का काम करता है, कंप्यूटर मैसेजिंग का काम करता है, कंप्यूटर गाने सुनाता है, मोबाइल भी गाने सुनाता है. This convergence happens because of this type of circuits. You should study the business model of a country called Taiwan. Taiwan's economy is only on this intellectual integrated circuits. It's only doing this. They appointed one IIT engineer from India to study this technology. They sent him to US to get trained. They brought him back and they said that we are strong in this. And today they are the biggest supplier of components to the all computer industry all over the world. You name it, it goes to China, it goes to US, it goes to Malaysia, it goes to Singapore, it goes to Austria, it goes to Australia, full of Europe. Taiwan's full economy is based on intellectual property. When an economy can be based on intellectual property, everything can be protected in this world. You can also create a path-breaking revolution through your intellectual property or through your innovative knowledge. So this is one type of property. Then we have a separate type of property called copyrights and related rights. Copyright subsists in something called work. And this work could be literary work, dramatic work, artistic work, musical work, cinematographic film, and a performer right. Let us see one by one. If you have something in the form of a literary work, you have written something, या आपने गाने लिखे हैं, या स्टोरी लिखी है, या नज़म लिखी है, they can all be protected as literary work. Then, if you have written a script for a drama, and drama अगर आपने बिठाया है, drama को complete absolutely action में लाया है, that drama becomes protected as dramatic work. Artistic work, sculpture, painting, photography, it all comes under artistic work. Like best of the photography done by wildlife photographer, it can be protected as an artistic work. Musical work, say गाने हैं, musical, every musical production company owns musical rights of all the songs. क्या लता मंगेशकर का गाना बिना without music melodious रहेगा? Can it be melodious without the composition? वो सिर्फ कविता पढ़ेगी तो कोई सुनेगा? कोई नहीं सुनेगा. That's what the music is. Now a film, cinematographic film, which has script, which has characters, which has story, everything is there. So that as a film can be also protected as cinematographic film. Let's understand the issue of IPR. What are the issues in IPR? How can you really deal with IPR? This slide talks about how do you deal with IPR. It could be technical issue, it could be legal issue, it could be economic issue. Technical issue is what is to be protected. The legal issue is how it is to be protected, and economic is why should you protect it. That's very important. Every question starts with the question why. Simon Sinek करके एक business motivational coach है, business coach है. He says everything starts with the question why. Why should you do? Why should you create intellectual property? That's the biggest question for even management. Why should we learn intellectual property? हमको जबरदस्ती students को क्यों बिठाया गया है? But because they don't know that why, they will think it. I'll tell you why. The brand like Swiggy, the brand like Amazon is worth millions of rupees. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, they are all rich because of intellectual property. They have created technology which is protected in the form of intellectual property, and they have commercialized it or marketed that intellectual property in a proper manner. But before that, they said what is to be protected. If I have suppose a technology, information technology business, what will I protect? I'll protect the system, I'll protect the software, or I protect the both. How it is to be protected? Whether I have to do patent, whether I have to do trademark, whether I have to do copyright, or all the three. Amazon has technology, but Amazon has a brand also. Amazon has patented a technology in US and in UAE where the goods are transferred through a drone. आप देखते हो एक कोल्ड ड्रिंक की ऐड आती है ना, स्प्राइट की ऐड, विज्ञान से मंगाओ या इंसान से मंगाओ, करेक्ट? ये ऐड से कोरिलेट करो. That is the technology of Amazon. That's the technology of Amazon. So Amazon has protected the technology for the delivery system. They have protected the brand for plastic. And why? Because it's of huge value to them. Until you have an economic value, you will not do it. मैनेजमेंट में सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन यही है कि मेरे को फायदा क्या है, पैसा कहां से आएगा, इसमें पैसा आने वाला है या नहीं आने वाला है. अदरवाइज आई विल नॉट डू इट. ई सीरीज का कंप्लीट बिजनेस is on corporate model. He protects the smallest song in the from even छोटे से छोटी धुन भी रहेगी तो उसको कॉपीराइट करके रखा है. उसकी खुद की कॉपीराइट सोसाइटी है, and his whole business model is based on only copyright. That's the economic value. Until you do not have economic value, nobody will do it. One product, many IPR. आई गिव यू सिंपल एग्जांपल. जब पेन सबसे पहले बना होगा तो उसने क्या क्या प्रोटेक्ट किया. स्टोरेज ऑफ इंक वाज नॉट पॉसिबल इन द एंशिएंट एज. स्टोरिंग ऑफ इंक के लिए उसने टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोटेक्ट की. देन एवरी पेन हैज अ यूनिक डिजाइन एंड डायमेंशन, तो उसने उसका डिजाइन का रजिस्ट्रेशन किया. अगर आप पेन के बिना ब्रांड खरीदोगे या क्रॉस नहीं लिखा होगा या पार्कर नहीं लिखा होगा या सेलो नहीं लिखा होगा या माउंट बैंक नहीं लिखा होगा, आप खरीदोगे क्या वो पेन? नोबडी विल बाय दैट. सो दैट्स अ ट्रेडमार्क. सो वन प्रोडक्ट, मेनी IPR. दैट्स द रूल. Economic perspective of intellectual property. If you see these products, they are all famous because of intellectual property. A camera technology, the brand, everything is like Gillette. जिलेट ने जब क्लीन ब्लड टेक्नोलॉजी लगाई निकाली, उसके बाद 6 डिजाइन थी. उसको मालूम नहीं था कौन सा डिजाइन सक्सेसफुल रहेगा मार्केट में. He protected all the 6 designs in the form of utility patent and the dimensions and even branded that product. And today, Gillette के सिवा twin blade technology में कोई नहीं आया है, because he used IP as a strategy. Somebody asked me what should be the considerations before I do the IPR. Gillette से strategy सीखो. उसके पास 6 डिजाइन थी, उसने ट्विन ब्लेड टेक्नोलॉजी का पहला निकाला. जब पहले का सेल डाउन नहीं हुआ, उसके पहले उसने दूसरा प्रोडक्ट निकाला गिलेट, देन वापस तीसरा निकाला, चौथा निकाला. He didn't allow any competitor to enter the twin blade technology market. If you see, he started with Mac, then Mac 1, Mac 2, Mac 3, Mac 4, Mac 5. ये 6 डिजाइन एग्जॉस्ट हो गई, तो he invented a razor for old people. They cannot shave themselves, so somebody else is going to shave for him. तो उनको कैसे कंफर्ट होना चाहिए, वैसा रेजर निकाला. So you see the strategy. He's not allowed anybody to come inside, and he has created a monopoly for himself. IPR is something which will give you. Somebody has asked me कि मेरा राइट कैसे कंसीडर करने का, प्रोटेक्ट करने का, ताकि मेरी प्रॉपर्टी मेरी रहे, किसी और की नहीं होए. गिलेट से सीखो कैसे किया उसने. He didn't allow anybody to come inside the market. 80% of the market value of Microsoft derives from its intangible assets, especially intellectual property. Windows, oh God, Windows की कितनी टेक्नोलॉजी protected है as a patent. The value of Coca-Cola brand exceeds $50 billion only in European market. US, Asian market और थर्ड वर्ल्ड को भूल जाओ, वो तो हमने देखे भी नहीं है अभी तक. सिर्फ यूरोप का बिजनेस इज मोर देन $50 billion, और इट ओनली कंसिस्ट ऑफ वन थिंग, दैट इज द ब्रांड कोका-कोला. दैट इज व्हाई वी शुड लर्न इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी, एंड दैट इज व्हाई मैनेजमेंट स्टूडेंट्स शुड लर्न इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी. Let's understand individually one by one trademark, then I'll come for the case studies, and I would like again people to speak and participate in this. What is trademark? A trademark is a mark capable of being represented graphically and capable of distinguishing the goods or services of one person from those of others, and may include shape of the goods, their packing, and combination of colors. So a trademark is something which is graphically presented. आप Amazon का ब्रांड देखिए, स्विगी का ब्रांड देखिए, जोमेटो का देखिए और ओयो का देखिए, जो मैंने दिखाया है. इट्स ग्राफिकली रिप्रेजेंटेड, एंड एक मार्क दूसरे मार्क के जैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इट शुड बी लाइक जोमेटो एंड स्विगी आर इन द सेम बिजनेस, बट देयर ब्रांड्स आर सेपरेट. सो यू कम टू नो कि you are taking services of Zomato or you are taking services of Swiggy. So they are able to capable of distinguishing one person goods from the other person and may include shape of the goods. आप सब लोग बर्गर खाने जाते हो, नेक्स्ट टाइम जब बर्गर खाने जाओगे तो आपको बर्गर एक पैकिंग में दिया जाएगा. वो पैकिंग इज रजिस्टर्ड एज अ ट्रेडमार्क ऑफ हार्ट कास्टल रेस्टोरेंट और मैकडोनल्ड यूएस. We are using even packing material as trademark. There could be anything which can be protected as trademark. Even smell, fragrance, sound, they can be also protected as trademark. What is mark? It could be device, brand, heading, label, ticket, name, word, numerical, packing, combination of colors, signature, letter, shape of the goods. आप पेन बाय करोगे ना तो पेन पे मॉन बैंक का सिग्नेचर होगा. न्यूमेरिकल्स, इफ यू सी दी टेक्सटाइल आइटम्स आर ओनली सोल्ड इन न्यूमेरिकल्स 2x2. Yeah, these are all numericals which are also registered as trademark. This is the example. Nike, Just Do It, see the Starbucks coffee, see the McDonald's. These are the kinds and examples of what is trademark. Let's understand little bit procedural aspect of the IPR. IPR comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It comes under Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. Then the authority is Controller of Patents and Trademarks. Then we have patent, then we have trademark, we have geographical indication and design. Trademark has 5 places to be have jurisdiction wise collected: Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. These are the 5 places for trademark. For patent, it is Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai as per jurisdiction. Like Rajasthan comes under Delhi. If you have a patent, you will have to file patent in Delhi. But if you have a trademark, you can come to Ahmedabad. Geographical indication, it is only filed in Chennai. Design, it's only filed in Kolkata. But all the other offices do accept the application. Patent law. What is patent? Both product and process patent are provided. Term of a patent, 20 years. Let's not go into the procedure. I'll tell you what is patent. Patent is a legal right granted by a state to an inventor or a consideration that he has disclosed his innovation. We are going through this pandemic. अगर कोवैक्सीन है नहीं होगा, वैक्सीन का टेक्नोलॉजी कोई डिस्क्लोज नहीं करेगा, तो हमको वैक्सीन कैसे मिलेगी? And how do we control this? So he has disclosed his innovation in that vaccine, for which he is going to get exclusivity in the form of a patent for 20 years. So any invention, if you disclose it, you are doing a great job to the humankind. Suppose Microsoft ने बताया नहीं रहता तो उसको पेटेंट नहीं मिलता. Intel ने बताया नहीं रहता तो उसको पेटेंट नहीं मिलता. Let me tell you, is Intel selling anything to you personally? He is selling just a processor. और अगर वो प्रोसेसर नहीं बताता तो कंप्यूटर चलता कैसे? So that's his property. Invention का मतलब क्या है? It means a new product or a process involving an inventive step and capable of industrial application. Means any new product and new process. Old product but new process. Old process but new product. All these 3 permutations and combinations can be protected as invention. Invention must be published. It should not be published. It should not be in prior public knowledge within India or anywhere. It should not be claimed by anybody else in his patent. It relates to product, process and product both. It should be novel, it should have inventive step, and it should have investigation. And it should not fall into a restriction. There are certain exceptions. There are certain list of categories where the patent is not granted. It should not have in a negative list. Like any research pertaining to any invention related to atomic energy is not given patent in this country. What is copyright? Let's understand what it is. Author's natural right to product of his labor. Copyright law is an instrument designed to balance public right versus private interest. Authorship and analysis of relation between author and work. It is a broader sense. Copyright creates a system of propriety of a certain kind of intangible property, generally called work of authorship. The copyright system means legal right of an owner in an original work. It should be original work to prevent anyone else from producing the work in any way. Copyright law protects original work of authorship. Copyright protects the expression of an idea and not idea itself. So copyright persists in any work which is expressed. Literary work is an expression of somebody's thought in the form of novel, in the form of shairi, in the form of song. Artistic work is like drawing or a painting or a photography is expression of his way of capturing his idea. Music is composition. His composition within the various facets of the knowledge of the music, and what composition he has a unique composition. That is his expression in the form of something called idea, which is actually expressed in the form of some combination. The subject matter of copyright is it should have original literary, dramatic, artistic work, film, recording, or artistic craftsmanship or work of culture. The two requirements for copyright is it should be first original and it should be fixed. It should be in some manifested in some form. बोलेगा सिर्फ मेरा आइडिया है तो कोई कॉपीराइट नहीं देगा. It is necessary to secure copyright as a product because any skill, labor and capital should be expanded sufficiently to be the part of the product. किसी ने डिक्शनरी बनाया, डिक्शनरी को भी कॉपीराइट मिला है. अभी डिक्शनरी में क्या है? डिक्शनरी तो सबके पास है. But the way it has been arranged, the way the meanings are given to it, in Hindi, in English, Hindi to English, English to Marathi, English to Hindi, Hindi to English, combination hai. It is his labor, skill and expression which is protected in that dictionary. These are the examples of designs, iron, shoes, bottles, Coca-Cola ka shape of the bottle, refresher. These are also some design examples. Geographical indication is certain products having association with the place of origins, characteristics and quality depending on the feature of such source. Tequila, then wine, whiskey, Scotch whiskey. Scotch whiskey is only available in UK. You cannot have Scotch whiskey from USA or India or Asia. Jamaican coffee, that is having only grown in Jamaica. Kolhapuri chappal, then Jamdani shawl or sari in Bangladesh. Penny from Goa. These are the examples of geographical indication. अब थोड़ा सा हम हट जाते हैं. बहुत पढ़ाई कर ली. अक्षय सर ने भी आपको पढ़ा लिया, मैंने भी पढ़ा लिया. गुलजार साहब क्या बोलते हैं सुन लेते हैं थोड़ा. क्यों इतना सिखाए जा रही है जिंदगी, हमें कौन सा सदियों जीना. Why so much of learning? But let's see why so much of learning, but not any beginning. The point which I want to make is that जिंदगी ने बहुत कुछ सिखाया लेकिन थोड़ा और कहीं हम शुरू किए. And that is the leverage part of IPR. You create something, you protect something, but क्या करोगे उसको लेके अगर उसका commercial benefit नहीं लिया तो. We need to take some commercial benefit out of it. And that is you use IPSF to build business relationship and opportunity. In a way, achieving more with an IPSF than if you didn't have the relationship. And in turn, improve a business profitability. You should have intellectual property which helps you to create business profitability. And ये करना कौन सिखा सकता है? लॉयर नहीं सिखाएगा. लॉयर खाली प्रोटेक्ट करके दिखाएगा आपको. This is where the management students will come in picture. Why the management students should listen to this is because they will help intellectual property to be commercialized in a proper manner. Because they know finance and management properly. They will know how to commercialize an intellectual property, and that is why IPR should be taught to the management students. I personally feel IPR should be in the curriculum and the syllabus of every management student, every management university, because until they know how to commercialize it, the intellectual property will get created. There are thousands of patent files in the whole world, but only 4% are commercialized. 95 patents die their own life. ये वर्ल्ड बैंक का रिपोर्ट है. ये वर्ल्ड बैंक का रिपोर्ट है कि 100 पेटेंट फाइल होती, ग्रांट होती है, उसमें से सिर्फ 4 ही कमर्शियलाइज होती है. क्यों? तो हम मैनेजमेंट और फाइनेंस वालों को IPR नहीं सिखाते. We should start teaching IPR to management. That is why this is an important subject for you. Let us see the value people have created out of IPR. IBM 1.5 billion only in royalty business. Microsoft had 5 patents in 1990 when they started. Today they are having more than 2,000, 3,000 patents. Gillette created a wall of 22 patents on its product, including blade, the handle, the packing. And they didn't allow anybody to commercially even become their competitor. That's the fun of, and that's the magic of IPR. लेट अस रीड, और आप लोग पढ़ो ये कमर्शियल कैसे हुआ। ये प्रोडक्ट आपका बहुत कॉमन प्रोडक्ट है, आप रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में देखते हैं। इसके इन्वेंटर को क्या मिला है? द इन्वेंटर गॉट 1,48,000 UK pounds a day as a royalty on each and every can. Per can 1 ton, per can उसको प्रॉपर्टी मिली है। How much he has made money? So commercial importance is this of IPR. And until you have no commercial benefit, nobody will teach you IPR. Nobody will bother about IPR. Universities and world. This is where I am going to be giving you one case study. Now everything is case study. पढ़ाई बहुत हो गई हमारी लाइफ में। स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में एक बच्चा था, एक लड़का और एक लड़की कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे थे। As a last year of curriculum, they had last semester of the curriculum, they had to give thesis, or they have to do a project, and they did a project. For 6 months they were together, so they fall in love with each other. Very natural. It happens in so many colleges and universities, nothing new. But these two people, they submitted and they passed out as computer engineers, and they thought कि अभी हम हमारी लाइफ के लिए क्या करें। तो उनको बिजनेस करना था, तो बिजनेस के लिए प्रोडक्ट कौन सा यूज करेंगे। तो उन्होंने वही थीसिस यूनिवर्सिटी को दिया था, कन्वर्टेड दैट थीसिस इनटू अ प्रोडक्ट। दैट प्रोडक्ट चल पड़ा, बहुत सक्सेसफुल हो गया। उन्होंने कंपनी भी बनाई, कंपनी आज बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है। आज आप ये प्रेजेंटेशन जो देख रहे हो वो टेक्नोलॉजी उसी कंपनी की है। बट उन्होंने आईपीआर प्रोटेक्ट करके अपने पास रखा, प्रॉपर्टी यूनिवर्सिटी की थी। यू राइट थीसिस, यू गिव डिसर्टेशन टू यूनिवर्सिटी, इट डज नॉट बिलोंग टू यू, यू आर ओनली ऑथर ऑफ इट, द ओनरशिप इज ऑलवेज विद यूनिवर्सिटी। So Stanford University thought of suing them. This boy and girl told, no, we are what we are because of our education, and the university has given us education. They gave them a royalty of $150 million. And they signed an agreement with Stanford University कि आज के बाद हमारे सारे रिसर्च आप करके दो। This company is Cisco. And because of Cisco, Stanford University stands where it is today. And both of them stand where they are is because of IP. Now you see the wonder, even a university can also do wonder in intellectual property. As I told you, Chandigarh में यूनिवर्सिटी ने 73 patents file किए हैं. Who will take them to commercial? Management students will take them to commercial. With that, university in Chandigarh also have a management section. They should appoint them as a commercial advisor to them, and they should leverage these 73 patents for their business. That university will become the richest university. Even Vivekananda University can become the richest university if they have a technical faculty. Even if they do not have technical faculty, their Vivekananda students become bright and advise the whole world how to commercialize your IPR. That is very important. Now we will see each and every case study. Priva and Pfizer's synergy story. Priva एक कंपनी थी जो ईस्ट यूरोप में थी और इट वॉज ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ क्लोजिंग डाउन, वाइंडिंग अप होने वाला था, वो कंपनी बंद होने वाली थी। फाइजर ने एक पेटेंट की स्टडी की, एक रिसर्च किया कि एक प्रोडक्ट हमको बनाना है दवाई के लिए, वो एंटीबायोटिक सेगमेंट में था। उन्होंने पूरा प्लान बनाया कि हम आज से रिसर्च करेंगे, 2 साल में रिसर्च खत्म होगा और हम ये प्रोडक्ट बाहर निकालेंगे और दूसरे साल से ये प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च के बाद हमको इसका पैसा आना शुरू होगा। तो यू डिवाइस टेक्नोलॉजी बट इट विल गोइंग टू अर्न आफ्टर 3 years। सब कुछ अप्रूव हो गया, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने सब कुछ अप्रूव कर दिया एंड दे वर ऑल गोइंग टू स्टार्ट, बट द फाइनेंस एंड द मैनेजमेंट डिपार्टमेंट Say, no, we are not going ahead with this project. He said, why? He said, yeah, I find out one company called Pliva. उसके पास अपने को जो दवाई लॉन्च कराना है उसका पेटेंट है, वो कंपनी बंद होने वाली है, वो पेटेंट का लेके क्या करेंगे? आपने किसी ने पूछा कि कंपनी बंद होने के बाद आईपीआर का क्या होता है? इट्स अ नाइस केस स्टडी फॉर दैट. तो प्लीवा ने वो उनके पास गए, फेजर वाले, बोला आप ये पेटेंट का क्या करेंगे? तो बोला हमको नहीं मालूम इसका पेटेंट का क्या करना, हम तो बंद कर रहे हैं, हमारा तो धंधा खत्म हो गया, हमारा तो दिवाला फूट गया है, वी आर बिकम इंसॉल्वेंट. आप इंसॉल्वेंट नहीं होंगे, आप हमें ये पेटेंट बेच दो, हम आपको पैसे देते हैं, आपकी कंपनी को वापस खड़ा करते हैं, बट आपको हमारे साथ रहना पड़ेगा 3 साल तक, जब तक ये पेटेंट कमर्शियल एक्सप्लॉइट नहीं होता है. दे साइन एंड म्यूचुअल बेनिफिट शेयरिंग एग्रीमेंट. लीवा ने सब कुछ दे दिया, पेटेंट फेजर को दे दिया, टेक्नोलॉजी दे दी, फेजर ने प्रोडक्ट भी लॉन्च कर दिया. दे बिकम सक्सेसफुल. टुडे दैट प्रोडक्ट इज यूज्ड एज an antibiotic called azithromycin, and it is the highest selling drug for Pfizer. Pfizer earned huge amount, but what happened to Pfizer is not important. What happened to PVA is important. PVA was on the verge of winding up, बंद करके दिवाला फूक दिया था उन्होंने. Today it has become the biggest research company of East Europe. And they are doing not only research for Pfizer, they are doing for so many other big pharmaceutical companies. That's the wonder of IPR. And this is possible because finance and management वालों ने कुछ अच्छा सोचा. अगर वो नहीं सोचते तो कैसे होता? Let's see Dolby. Dolby music system, Dolby sound system, सबको पता है. इस आदमी ने पेटेंट फाइल किया, उसको मालूम था कि जैसे मैं पेटेंट फाइल करूंगा सबको डॉक्यूमेंट मिल जाएंगे और सब कॉपी करेंगे. उन्होंने बोला आप कॉपी मत कीजिए, मेरे पास से पेटेंट नहीं चाहिए, मैं देता हूं आपको. लेकिन ये सर मैं सिर्फ पेटेंट नहीं दूंगा आपको, आपको पेटेंट के साथ साथ आपको ट्रेडमार्क भी लेना पड़ेगा. मैं दूंगा तो दोनों दूंगा. तो ही मेड हिज ब्रांड मैरिड टू हिज टेक्नोलॉजी. एंड टुडे 2/3 of revenue of Dolby is coming only from IPR. We have huge different sound system, but Dolby जैसा कोई नहीं है. Each and every film में Dolby का ही सिस्टम वापरा जाए. सोनी, revolutionary beginning. सोनी के चेयरमैन थे मिस्टर इबुका. मिस्टर इबुका सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद he was traveling from Japan to USA for some work, और उसके साथ जापानीज आर्मी के चीफ थे. उनसे बात करते करते उनको पता चला कि उनके पास एक पेटेंट है विच इज ऑन पे ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ वॉइस, आवाज को ट्रांसफर करने के लिए. इन सिंपल टूडेज लैंग्वेज वी कॉल एज वॉकी टॉकी, विच वॉज यूज फॉर आर्मी, जापानीज आर्मी इन द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर. अब सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर खत्म हो गया है, तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी कहाँ है? वो वेस्टर्न इलेक्ट्रिक के पास पड़ा है. वेस्टर्न इलेक्ट्रिक का मालिक भी आर्मी का ही चीफ था. उससे बात करवाई, बोले ये आप क्या करोगे ये टेक्नोलॉजी का, अभी तो वर्ल्ड वॉर खत्म हो गया. बोला हम तो फेंक देंगे, हमको कुछ काम का नहीं है. बोला आप फेंको मत, मेरे को दे दो. एंड मिस्टर इबुका, हु द फाउंडर ऑफ सोनी, he paid $25,000 in 1945 to Western Electric, bought that technology, made his engineer work, and that's how the first transistor was launched. आज आप रेडियो सुनते हो ना, FM रेडियो, it is all creation of Sony, and rest Sony is history in electronic gadgets, whether it is TV, sound system, tape recorder, music system, everything. Sony has its own name in the whole world. So that is again an IPR. अगर आप IPR को रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करोगे तो आपकी कंपनी बंद भी हो सकती है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज द स्टोरी ऑफ कोडैक. कोडैक में 4-5 इंजीनियर काम करते थे. वो 4-5 इंजीनियर ने एक टेक्नोलॉजी लगाई. पुराने जमाने में जब हम स्कूल कॉलेज में हुआ करते थे तो अगर हार्ट फोटो खींचा तो हमको दूसरे दिन शाम को मिलता था. उसको प्रोसेस करो, उसको डेवलप करो, उसको कम से कम 24 घंटे लगते. ये 5 इंजीनियर ने ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी इन्वेंट की कि देयर कैन बी इंस्टेंट फोटोग्राफ इन 40 मिनट्स और 20 मिनट्स. दैट वाज कॉल्ड इंस्टेंट कैमरा टेक्नोलॉजी. तो कोडेक को अच्छा नहीं लगा, ये सब नहीं चलेगा करके उन्होंने ना बोल दिया. These 5 engineers came out of Kodak and they started their own company. And that camera technology became very successful. Instant camera technology. तो Kodak को लगा ये लोग क्या करेंगे, तो बहुत छोटे मोटे हैं. We also started selling cameras without taking permission from these people. Those people had patent for that instant camera technology. अभी वो कंपनी के पास कोई चारा नहीं था बट कोडैक के साथ लड़ने का और उसको बंद करवाने का. अगर बंद नहीं करवाया तो हमारा धंधा बंद हो जाएगा. तो अपना पूरा सब कुछ जिंदगी के भर की कमाई लिटिगेशन में लगा दी. मालूम नहीं था जीतेंगे कि हारेंगे, बट लगा दी. एंड फाइनली दे वन द केस. Kodak was made to stop that product and he was made to pay more than $150 million as damages. Not only that, जो कैमरा बेचे थे उसने वो कैमरा साहब वापस मंगवा के रीपरचेस करने पड़े. कोडैक खत्म हो गया. आज कोडैक का नाम नहीं है. The other company which protected the IPR, respected the IPR and commercialized that company was Polaroid. And today Polaroid is a very respectable name in camera and camera technology. Correct? So friends, this is what I want to say. In today's knowledge economy, strong IPR system can help economies on the path of growth and prosperity. As Joseph Sumter, he's a very big economist, says that profit is return on successful innovation. Profit is return on successful innovation. अनामिका जी, मैं एक छोटी सी शायरी बोलना चाहता हूँ बच्चों के लिए. Can I have it? Am I allowed? हाँ,
very much, sir. Very much, sir. Very much.
कोई प्रोटोकॉल वायलेट नहीं होगा ना आपका?
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
यहाँ मैं इन बच्चों को बोलना चाहूंगा, वो बोलते नहीं है लेकिन आज मैं इनको कुछ बोलना चाहूंगा. अगर नजर बदलो तो नजारे बदलेंगे. अगर नजर बदलो तो नजारे बदलेंगे. कश्तियां बदलो तो किनारे बदलेंगे. नजर बदलो तो नजारे बदलेंगे. कश्तियां बदलो तो किनारे बदलेंगे. अपनी सोच की ताकत को बदलो तो इरादे बदलेंगे. अपनी सोच की ताकत को बदलो तो इरादे बदलेंगे. इसीलिए कोई लोहा बनाते बनाते टाटा बन गया और कोई जूता बनाते बनाते बाटा बन गया. The perception is about
Fantastic.
the perception is about your thinking about your capabilities. Excel your IPR, yourself an intellectual property. Excel that in your life and you will become something. I wish all the best to all the students. God bless them and a successful career to them in future. Thank you. I am open to whatever questions you have.
Thank you so much, Nayan sir. It is always a pleasure listening to you, particularly for me. And we always have lots and lots of applause on your session from all the speakers, whether they are from Odisha, whether they are from Bihar in our past incubator sections. And I'm very sure even the students of Vivekananda Global University are quite overwhelmed listening your presentation, listening your wonderful knowledge. You are actually in real time expert of the field, and as I can see that there's a lot of appreciation on the chat box. All credit goes to you, sir. It's a wonderful presentation.
Let them ask any questions if they have.
So now I open the forum.
Let them yeah. अगर तनाव आती है तो चैट बॉक्स में बात कीजिए, लेकिन बात कीजिए.
Well, the forum is open, all the students. As I very well know, sir, session अपने आप में इतना ज़्यादा self explanatory था कि वो scope नहीं रहता आपसे कुछ query पूछने का actually. Okay, I welcome all the students to extend their queries either in the chat box. You can write your queries in the chat box. Anadi ma'am, I would like to request you to extend a feedback session to today's sessions.
Yeah, there is one question from this Nikita Agarwal. As we know, it's not easy to get patents. So, sir, how did a company get its patent? Means, Nikita, it's very important to file a patent. Once you file a patent, then you can write on that product or technology patent pending. Nobody will try to touch that. Nobody will try to touch that. We have a little bit enforcement issue in this country, but once you have filed a patent and you are very much confident about the grant, you are required to write on the product which is going to be a part of that patent technology, that patent pending. That is enough for the whole world to know that you are claiming a patent and nobody will try to touch that product. We need to do certain things that then only we can fight. Now, sir, no, it is not required to fight. Did Dolby fight? Dolby ने मारा नहीं किया, उसको मालूम है लोग कॉपी करेंगे. लेके जाओ. Have a strategy. अगर दोस्ती से काम होता है तो दुश्मनी क्यों करनी है आपको?
That's a wonderful tip, sir.
तो इसीलिए मैं तो आपके एग्जांपल्स और ऐड करूंगी. जैसे बिग बॉस है, बिग बॉस में जो बिग बॉस की आवाज है वो भी उन्हीं का ही एक तरह से IPR है जो अभी तक उनको पॉपुलैरिटी दे रहा है. प्लस Amazon में Echo में Alexa, Apple का Siri जो इनकी वॉइसेस है, these are all their properties.
I told you the sound images also can be protected as
Exactly, sir. बहुत ही आई एम ऑल्सो ओवरवेल्म टू हियर यू फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. और हम लोग खुद ही इनोवेशन सेल है हमारे पास अटल का VGU में ही, तो वी आर वर्किंग ऑन इट.
You need any kind of guidance for an innovation cell, you tell me, I'll tell you how to formulate a strategy.
Definitely, sir. I extend a warm thank you from VGU to you and to Akshay sir for giving us your precious time to for the benefiting of the students, so that उनका horizon तो खुले कि IPR सुनते तो बहुत है ये लोग, बट इसमें एक्चुअली कितनी डेप्थ है वो आज आपने उनको समझा दिया है कि ऐसी छोटी चीज.
हम IPR बोलो तो वो लीगली समझते हैं, बट इट इज ओनली प्रोटेक्शन विच इज इन द लीगल. Creation and leverage is something which business people have to do.
Exactly.
And the most important part is the leverage, and that is cannot be done unless finance and management students and management people are taught what is IPR.
I know, sir, and I also second your thought that इसको actually syllabus में curriculum में कहीं ना कहीं add करना चाहिए.
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm teaching in government law college. मेरे 50% students तो technical है और माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म वाले हैं, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी वाले. मैं तो उनको पूछता हूँ भाई आप IPR सीखने क्यों आए? बोलते हमको BSc में ये करिकुलम में BSc विद इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी और BSc विद बायोटेक्नोलॉजी में ये छोटा सा सब्जेक्ट है. So I said if that can be included for science, why not for management and finance students? Because they are most appropriate to take this at some level.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, I extend my hearty thanks to Nayan Rawal sir, to Akshay sir for being there as a mentor for this today's training session, and I'm very sure that this session has benefited multifold way to all the students, to all the participants who have attended this session, including myself. Every time when I hear something on IPR, my knowledge somehow enhances step one over it, and I'm very sure that everybody also would be aligned to my views. So thank you so much for sparing your precious time.
I'm so thankful to you that you have given me an opportunity to speak at this level.
Pleasure is equally mine, sir. Pleasure is equally mine. I extend my hearty thanks to Anadi ma'am also for being the coordinator, for being the bridge for this program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I extend my thanks to all the participants who have attended today's training program. I request all the participants to be in touch with Anadi ma'am. I'll be processing your e-certificates by next week, and will be sending to you. Most of the next email will be sent to Ma'am Anadi Trikha, and she may further disperse it. With these words, I would like to thank, and any queries with Sir sessions can be posted to CCS Niyam or can be posted to Sir's email ID as well. So we can take it.
I think so. I have my email ID here. Yes, you can give it to me. Yeah.
Students, you can take it.
I already shared this PPT with you. You can give them to me.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. With these words, I would like to make an end towards today's program. And again, I thank you on behalf of Dr. Ramesh Mittal, the chairman of the Public-Private Partnership Cell, He is actually busy with another meeting on RKBY, so he's not able to join us today, but he has conveyed his regards to you, sir, and a lot of thanks and gratitude.
My also regards and a lot of gratitude to that gentleman who's allowing me to speak again and again.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Definitely will I do. And thank you, students, for a wonderful feedback in the chat box which you have given to us. We are very open for the queries on the email box of CCS NIAM. We are available on the website ccsniam.gov.in. You can see our email IDs over there, and you can post in your queries to any one of us, to Akshay sir, to Nayan sir, or to myself. Thanks so much for being connected to today's program. With these words, I would like to wish everybody a very safe, very warm evening, and stay safe, stay protected till we next meet. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.